As all terrible stories go, this story particularly is about sex. This, with so many twists and turns, only if you're not really living in Nigeria would I be the first person bringing this gist to you. But alas, before you click away, I have a new twist and bend to it. This is the story of the beautiful, the girl with the future 100, I'd forgotten whatever level she was in, but she was a UNILAG student of the Mascom, and her name goes by, drum rolls, Chidinma Ojukwu. Now this lovely bitch more than killed the Super TVO CEO of CEO of one fucked up station, Super TV station. I've never heard of it before. Then again, I've not heard about numerous things before, so woohoo! Well, I'll start from the very top. The two participants standing in one corner, Chidinma, standing in another corner was the super rich CEO. Now, what happened? As you've known prior to now, if you've been following the news, it's very simple. Man meets girl. Man sees girl has big bum bum. Man sees girl has fine face. Man also says to himself, you know what? I like to. And he developed a new plan. I'm old, I'm 50, I'm married, I'm with kids, I'm dishonest. I'm sorry to speak ill about the dead, but you know, this girl's young, fine, and pretty. You know what's going to happen? I have one thing she would want: money. So basically, we're going to do this. We exchange my money, and you give me what I want, which is sexual pleasing. In the words of my brigade, sexual healing. And so, the MOA of this is this. For those who don't know how runs work, is this: you meet old man. Old man is rich. Old man invites you to guest house. Old man provides you with money. Then you do one thing, one simple thing. You provide that old man with that one thing he needs. You have sex with him, and then you guys go your own stories. You don't get crazy thoughts as you're having sex with him and think, oh shit, what is this? A knife. What do I do with the knife? What will happen if I place the knife at the neck of this man and I press it into the other side of the neck of this man? Would he survive? Would it breathe? You don't ask crazy bitch questions like that. All you do is you put you suffice your own side of the deal, and then you move from it. She then started smoking. And he shared the oh shit, drugs! And they were high and fucked the drugs, and as they were high and fucked the drugs, and they're like, fucking drugs, fucking drugs. So they got really intoxicated on drugs, and as they were on that high state of euphoria, then he came on to her and he was like, let me rub my body on you now. Let me rub my body on you now. Let me have sex. And she was like, no, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it now. This is a sin. Then, according to her, this is where things get nasty. He gets angry, he gets infuriated. I spend all this money on this, that. I must have my own sphere. Side note, I think it's important to state that consent is really paramount. It doesn't matter whether you're having sexual intercourse with a prostitute or whatever kind. If the moment she says no, no is no, collect your money back and walk your way. Now, back to the gist. And so, when she got intoxicated, then she didn't realize, you know what? I really don't want to have sex with a 50-year-old man. I know I said probably so, but I'm not really feeling it right now. So, if we could, after you've paid X amount to get this lodge, sent me all those X amount of money, if we could just cuddle and say a story together and just call each other, that would be so nice. And the guy was saying, fuck you, that no go up. See, this thing what I pay today, but I will collect them. All this one they talk, na nonsense. Today we will do it. So then, this is what she said at this point. She accused him of trying to enforce his genitals on her. So then she was like, no, I don't want to have sex. No, I don't want to have sex. And him was like, baby, let's have sex. Baby, let's have sex. So there was no consensus at them. There was no meeting of the minds. And when things like that happen, then there was a struggle entailed. So him was like, yo, this is according to her now. Yo, this small little girl man, they tell me say she no go want sex. She go collect for you. Pishan. I don't know why pishan is the sound of me trying to act out him slapping her, but pishan, pishan. And she was like, how? You slapped me. You slapped me. You know what? Pishan, pishan. And then the struggle ensued. The leading man going for the jab, the punch, and then she was like, nah fam, I'm too high and fucked up for you to think you can have an easy way with me. And then she proceeded to outstretch long to paint the picture vividly. A struggle ensued. He was trying to force his way on her, and according to her, the previous day to it, she had refused him sex, and he had forced his way, but she had conceded to his forcing his way. But this time around, with the pain of last night, she decided that no, I won't go down without a fight. And then she stood vehemently and defended her ground against the patron of the Sugar Daddies Association, which is the Super CEO. And then defending our ground, as how you discover when you tend to defend your ground, comes with a push and pull conflict situation. And this was the conflict situation. So then they fought for the knife, and I'll dramatize the fighting of the knife with Chinese reference, Jackie Chan references. So he did, pew, stinking the eagle shadow, pasham, pasham, come over here. And then she was done like, no, I won't come over here, I won't come over here. And then she pounced on her, and as she pounced on her, then the struggle ensued. She went out, she was battering her, according to her. And then the fight was rushed. They were breaking the chairs, breaking the stool, according to her. I wasn't there. Then they breaking the chair, breaking the stool. Then she ran into the kitchen, and she ran into the kitchen with her outstretched arms, looking for a means of to protect herself. And then lo and behold, she came across a good friend. The mother weapon. Not the mother weapon, Mr. Knife stayed there, just looking at them, these two adults fighting. And just like, I'm here, you could use me, And she was like, oh, thank you. Then she stretched out for the mother weapon. And as she was stretching out for the mother weapon, according to the picture I was able to get from listening to her, this is what ensued. So he then decides to choke her. So as he was choking her, this now, I keep on saying this is according to her, and I'm going to tell you why it's according to her. Because believe it or not, I feel she is in a predicament situation, but I don't really buy the story 100%, but I'll get into that part. So I'm going to tell you her own version of the story. So she was choking her, I was choking her. Die. I spend money, you don't agree, man, fuck. Die. I spend money, you don't allow me, but man, have sex with you, but die. And then she then took to the knife and lunged at his neck. And then the great patron of the Sugar Daddies Association stayed there, amazed that this 20-year-old brat, biatch, as he'll be thinking in his mind, then he will not be like, hey, fine baby, be like, bitch, fucking stab me in my neck. Do you know who I be? And he started to apply pressure. And as applying pressure was exuding energy, and so exuding energy, my guess is that's what made him fall unconscious. And there he was, the guy who was attempting to force himself on this girl, the guy who married the kids, left his family, left his family to play around. The patron of the Sugar Daddies Association, the guy who is the butt of all this jokes, laid on the floor now, supposedly called a rapist now. And as he was on the floor, the girl who he was trying to rape, the person who was trying to rape you now, lays on the floor, unconscious, with kids and children. Two options now: go get help for him, or at least run out of the room. I mean, you were scared, according to your story, and you were frightened. And then you formed your own third option. The third option was to strike him again on the floor, where he could not do you any harm. Now this is where she lost me. I was all on her side. I was all, oh, he's a rapist because he has money. He wanted to rape her. He's supposed to die. Oh, kill him, kill him, kill him. But he's on the floor now. He can't do you any harm now. He's gasping for air. And then your option was to stab him on the floor. And this is where I call BS. You stab him on the floor. And now, after you stab him on the floor, finishing the job, make sure he's dead. No remorse, no, oh, what have I done? What have I done? Like they'll do in Nigerian movies. Oh, God, why? God, why? Your next option was to go get his ATM card, withdraw funds from his account. Bitch, you're a thief. And this is me trying to judge. This is an African mentality in me. But bitch, please. Like, I could agree all that, but if somebody was to kill me, okay, if someone was to kill me and murder me, yeah, and they go get my money, and they didn't spend my money, I mean, from the grave I'll be really pissed. Like, I'll be just being like in heaven, or yeah, I'll be in heaven obviously, and I'll just be chilling with my guys and I'll be like, this bitch killed me, and now she's spending my hard-earned cash. No, I'll go make sure they catch him for. I'll go make sure they catch him. And the spirit of the great grand patron of the Sugar Daddy Association, Super CEO TV, whatever that meant. And yo, I don't blow proper grammatical error for this video, but whatever that means. Then from his great beyond, he then decided that nah, she should be cut. And this is where it gets painful. This is where it gets surreal. A girl of 21 years old with bright future, a girl with promising future, which her father could not believe that she was able to commit such atrocities. That same girl now has a future taken away from her. A man has left his widow, his children without father, without love and care. And just imagine being the child of the sugar daddy who was killed by a girl he could give birth to comfortably. He was 51, she was 21, or around that age bracket. Just being imagining about that child. You being in school, being in a social workplace, and because it's Nigeria, Nigerians have so lack of sensitivity, and your guys will just be like, nah him be that. Omo, 21-year-old girl, 9 killing papa. Let me say even killing papa like that too. 21-year-old girl. Papa say he want knock. Then this time off for neck. Push out. He when they cry. Hey, go. They'll obviously add those extras, although they were not there to see it, but they'll obviously spice. So everybody knows that social ridicule and everything, and my heart really goes out to them. My heart goes out. In fact, I think my heart goes out more or less to the people related to them. I don't even wish this on my worst enemy. And all this brutality has occurred, and what we are left with a dead body and a broken future. And Nigeria, I think in many ways, certain ways people have reacted to it has actually pained me, because I think certain people do not attend to this with the sensitivity it has. I mean, it went viral, went through it. We have annoying, rude assholes like myself coming on social media to crack jokes about other people's pain, just doing pishan. God will judge all of you. God will judge all of you cracking all those jokes. Coming on YouTube to laugh about them. God will judge all of you. But I think we need to step back from the jokes. We need to step back from all this and evaluate and understand, how could we let this not happen? Is there a need for sugar daddies to form an association whereby they could protect their interests? Can they pass a bill in the House of Parliament to safeguard their security, because their life matters? Can the young girls and the young girls form an association whereby they could go on strike when each of their members is in doubt? Who are the social cooperative NGOs standing for the rights of all these, the sugar daddy and the side chicks? Side chicks' life matters too. Sugar daddy's life matters too. We need to start